Right, just sharing this. Trump spread racist lies in his single most important speech, and now his own Department of Justice has called him out on it. And basically, as it explains here, he made this statement that the vast majority of individuals convicted of terrorism and terrorism-related offences since 9/11 came here from outside of our country, and that's been proven now to be a blatant lie. I'll leave you the link to this article under this video. It's not the first lie that this president has told. He is a total liar. And a lawfully suspected criminal, a lawfully suspected sex offender against both women and children, and he's never been brought to justice or answered to any of his crimes. Apparently, any reports about the lawful suspicions based on the lawful evidence is all fake news, and yet here he is delivering fake news as fact. And that's what he does. He delivers lies, fake news to the people of America, and then accuses anybody who questions the validity of what he's saying or questions his claims of innocence. They're fake news, they're liars. I find this interesting. Did left-wing Hillary hate put Donald Trump in the White House? I don't think so. What put Trump in the White House was the deliberate denial of over 1 million American citizens their rights to vote. That's what put Trump in the White House. Okay? As for her, you know, she's got the same criminal connections as him. It's just like, well, he's an overt narcissist, she's a covert narcissist. They're both batting for the same team, ultimately. Except hers has a slightly different flavour. But at the end of the day, you know, what does she fight for? A few crumbs for the poor, and even, you know, they balk at that, don't they, this lot? You know, they don't want even to provide healthcare to children, really, do they? Children that they wish to force to be born into this world because they want to ban abortion. So, why? If you're not going to provide even with healthcare and education, or their parents, a living wage, why are you insisting these children are born? And that's what's so despicable about it all. Because women right now are damned if they do and damned if they don't. They're damned for bringing another life into an already, apparently, according to him and his crew, overpopulated world. Or they're damned if they choose to end an unwanted pregnancy. That, you know, people say, oh, well, you shouldn't have sex then, should you? And blah, blah, blah. Look, go away. Okay, just go away. Nature is nature. People have sex. For whatever reason. Some women are raped. People take every precaution they can, still get pregnant. There's a lot of happy children in this world because mummy waited till she was in a position that she could provide at least some love and security for the child that she's bringing into the world. And nobody has a right to question her decisions. She's the one that has to carry that child, give birth to it, devote the rest of her life to that child. So, you know, let her do it when she feels she's ready. The kind of childhood I had, I tell you, I'd rather be, I wish that my mother had been able to abort me. I know a lot of people think that sounds terrible. It isn't. What was terrible was my life experience. My childhood was terrible. Okay? And actually, what I've had to experience as an adult, as a direct result of that, has been terrible. I survived for the sake of the children, to give them a better future than the life I had. So, no, it wasn't Hillary hate that put him in the White House. It was denial of American citizens' votes. That's what it was. You know, oh, they didn't send a postcard back. They've got the same name as somebody in another city. Yeah, that's what was going on. So, you know, that's why they were so anxious about the lack of people at his inauguration ceremony, isn't it? Because there it was, the blatant evidence. Where were the hordes of people that had put him into power? Where were they? Their absence spoke volumes. And since he's been in power, well, what's he done? He's just given a giant tax break to the wealthiest people of America at the expense of the poorest people of America. It is absolutely disgusting, and he is a despicable person. Who knows? You know, it is possible he may actually see the light and get human. You know, one can only hope. But regardless, he does not belong in the presidency. How this man ever even got a chance to stand for president in America, really, it should alarm every American citizen that even a self-confessed sex offender gets to stand to be president. That is a serious breach of your security, America. What kind of system have you got that allows somebody like him to pass through? You know, you're talking a whore society, aren't you? Governed by whores, basically. Because that's what they are, these money men, aren't they? Have you got some money? Yes, I'll bend over for you. I'll do whatever you want. Do you want me to carry this? Do you want me to persecute these people? Which people do you want me to persecute? Who would you like me to kill? Who would you like me to rob? Because that's what it says on the money, isn't it? In gold. In gold we trust. They missed the L, didn't they? Out of God. Where it says on the American dollar, in God we trust. They missed the L out because they don't trust in God. They trust in physical gold. They don't trust in the golden light of intelligence that is God. The universe that created us with laws to live by. No, these people only believe in gold and the lawlessness that it creates, that it insists on, in order for it to remain precious and valuable and in the hands of a few. And then set up their competitions. Oh, come and run in our competition. Have you got no compassion, no care, no conscience? Oh, you're the winner, you're the winner. Yeah, honestly, it's that simple, people. It is that simple. And, you know, the bulk of their supporters, a lot of them are decent people, really, but they're just so programmed and brainwashed and de-educated and ill-informed that really, you know, they see him as, yeah, you know, we want a return to the days of slavery and, you know, all this women's rights stuff and children's rights, you know, beat your child, beat your children so they don't turn out gay. You know, that's the kind of mentality. It's an antiquated mentality. But unfortunately, some people believe that that kind of psychology represented America's golden era. You know, the Wild West type psychology. And the truth is that that's what America managed to rise out of. You know, that's what it tried to oppress with its constitution. Not to oppress that lawlessness and to establish law and order that creates a compassionate, caring society that has an ethical backbone, a conscience. He hasn't got any conscience. She hasn't got any conscience. It was disgusting that the main choice for America was between a psychopath and, you know, a narcissist. That itself should have told America, look, your country's being governed by tyrants, okay? Your country's being governed by tyrants. The tyrants who've already profited off 9/11, already profited off murdering Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., JFK, already profited, profit, all the way up to 9/11, and then, oh, suddenly, when people are waking up, oh, black president, oh yeah, first black president, yeah, we'll forget about all the corruptions and shenanigans of the past, we'll celebrate first black president. And when it comes to the point he's been elected that many times he can no longer re-stand for office, in come the psychopath and the narcissist. Here you go, America, take your choice. I hope that the Trump supporters are waking up and getting in touch with their humanity and realising how far they've been led astray from reality and the truth that makes a human being. You know, compassion is written into our DNA as human beings. It's a natural facet of intelligence. It's a measure of intelligence. If we can empathise, if we can think for others, if we can think beyond our own selfish needs and desires, if we're prepared to put those to one side for the sake of others, you know, for the sake of upholding their rights. And what rights has he got to rob American citizens? What right has the Pentagon got to rob America of $21 trillion over a period of 21 years? What right has a defence system, a nation's defence, got to rob the people of $21 trillion that it can't account for? Okay, never mind the money that they can account for. There's 21 trillion that they cannot account for. It's been an ongoing loss. It's a debt. The Pentagon is in debt to the American people. What have the American people got to show for the $21 trillion? Well, what they've got is poverty and global corporations and Zionist control of their government and banks. That's what America's got for its 21 trillion. Private corporate militaries that will turn their guns on American citizens just as easily as they'll turn their guns on Iraqi citizens. Regardless, they're not bothered. Who's paying them? Who's paying them? That's all they're bothered about. Who's paying them? We're living in really, really dangerous times. And if people don't wake up soon, I tell you, there'll be no turning back. Already, global warming is going to hit. The methane gases are going to hit big style. And some people are already, you know, understanding that this global heat wave, which really it's unheard of that in every country there's a heat wave. But that's what's happened. That's what's happening right now. Where's this heat coming from? Methane. Methane releases. You know, Jesus explained, as you give, so shall you receive. Well, you create massive amounts of methane because billions of people are eating meat and dairy on a daily basis. Then you're going to get even more methane because that's going to heat up the atmosphere 100 times more than CO2. CO2, by comparison, is nothing compared to what methane does. It's a very powerful global warming chemical component. It does heat the atmosphere up. And then even more methane is released because, you know, we're talking about like the Siberian coastline, where the ice packs, you know, the permafrost is beginning to melt and thaw, and it's releasing massive amounts of methane. So keep on at it, humanity. Get even more methane. Don't forget, to those who have less, even that which they have shall be taken away. Well, we've got less and less oxygen. So even the oxygen we have shall be taken away. Understand, these are laws, It's not a threat, it's not a punishment, it's cause and reaction. It's a fact. Live unlawfully, live with ignorance, expect to suffer as a result. And yeah, never mind that, well, at least him and his cronies have all had nice lives out of it for as long as they could. You know, apparently a nice life is being able to gad about in your private jet while constantly having to deny the allegations against you of your criminal activities. I mean, he's supposed to be a Christian. Seriously, he's a Christian. How can any Christian stand by Zionists that are fundamentally anti-Christian? How can, you know, they're not only anti-Christian, they're anti-Jew, anti-Muslim, you know, but stand by the Zionists. As a Christian, when Jesus himself spoke out against those usurers, they didn't call themselves Zionists then. They were just understood and known as usurers. And Yahweh is fundamentally against usury and all forms of slavery. So don't tell me you're a Christian if you can support him, Mike Pence. Perhaps you'll wake up. Perhaps you'll get in touch with your true human soul. Him, who knows? I mean, for goodness sake, does he believe in anything except himself and his bank account? So, you know, America's got a lying president. The world is under threat and risk. Our planet is at risk. Nobody's really doing anything about it. You know, we've got this ridiculous QAnon. Honestly, I mean, talk about, yeah, the cartoon presidency, and even relying on characters from blooming Star Trek, what was it, New Generation or something, this Q character. Go away, QAnon. Who are you? A Zionist shill is what you are. But people are falling for it. They're buying it. They're buying the filth and the crap. But humanity, there's still sanity with us, isn't there? The bulk of people understand. And it is time that we spoke louder. That we demanded justice, asking questions, standing up for our rights. It's a waste to start time being anti-Trump. Okay? You know, being a law-abiding citizen doesn't mean that you're anti-anybody, does it? You're pro-law, you're pro-humanity. It's the criminals who are anti, aren't they? They're anti-humanity, they're anti-law. So you stand up for the law, and you demand that the law moves to action and arrests this man. Arrest him! Arrest him already! He cannot be president. He's under serious investigation. He needs to be investigated. He cannot be president. It's an act of treason against American citizens to have him as the president. A known perjurer. That's a serious defect in a president that just blatantly lies. And here's two of his penguins. Clap, 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 clap. We support your lies. Lie. You know, a Christian supporting a liar. You know, all of them have got to go. Not just him, his whole team of office. Because what kind of people will stand by him? A liar and a sex offender. Anyway, I'll leave you the link to this video. Please have a look at it, read through it, get active, get real, people. And to the Trump supporters, you know, wake up, find your salvation, be liberated, liberate yourself from the hate and get with love.